Today on Political Access, I thought it'd be a good idea to take a look at some recent political polls in different states. So let's not waste any time. This first one here is in Arizona. This is from OH Predictive Insights. It's about the upcoming 2024 Senate election. And as I usually say with most polls, it's usually good to take a look at the sample size and the crosstabs if you can find it. And for this poll, there's a link right here. So this was taken over a month ago, but it's still a good idea to see where things are at. So if we go down here and look at the head-to-head matchups, we first have to remember current Senator Sinema would be running as an independent. She made that big move to leave the Democratic Party, so that makes this race much more complicated. So Ruben Gallego, he's seeking the Democratic nomination, and he is viewed as more progressive. And as of now, it seems like he's likely to be the nominee for the Democrats. Now on the Republican side, that's pretty much wide open. But on these head-to-head matchups, we can see Gallego is leading every one of these. Sinema does seem to split the vote, and she's hovering around 20%, but that gives Ruben Gallego an opening to win with a plurality of in the low to mid-30s. So if it's a three-way race between Gallego, Sinema, and Doug Ducey, Gallego leads by 5. If it's Karen Taylor Robson for the Republicans, Gallego goes up to 7. With Blake Masters, Gallego goes up to 9. And against Carrie Lake, Gallego leads by 8. Now, if you take Sinema out of the race and have a head-to-head matchup between Gallego and these same Republicans, not a whole lot changes. Gallego still leads by anywhere between 4 and about 10. So I should mention that it's not for sure Sinema is going to run for re-election. It seems likely, but if she does, based on these results, Ruben Gallego appears to have an advantage. But in a three-way race, it's especially complicated, and there's a ton of time things are going to change. If we go down here to look at the favorability ratings, Gallego has a 35 to 27. Carrie Lake, she's only at 33% approve, 55% disapprove. And if we go down here look at the candidate favorability by party, for me the takeaway is Sinema is underwater with Republicans, Democrats, and Independents, but she pulls the best with Republicans. So that's a quick look at Arizona. Now if we jump over to Virginia, recent approval ratings for Governor Glenn Youngkin are in, and they're up to 57%. His unfavorability is only at 35. So those are great numbers. So somehow Youngkin has carved out a path where he has maintained popularity through his first year in office. And as for Joe Biden, his approval rating is at 38%, with his unfavorables at 55. So it's almost the mirror image of Glenn Youngkin. So naturally there's a poll question here about a head-to-head matchup between Youngkin and Biden in Virginia. And in this Roanoke College poll for registered voters, Youngkin beats Biden by 16 points, 55 to 39. That is massive in my opinion. If we look at other head-to-head matchups with registered voters, DeSantis beats Biden by 5, 48 to 43, and Biden beats Trump by 1, 47 to 46. So those are some interesting numbers out of Virginia. It's clear Glenn Youngkin's political capital has only increased. That might encourage him to make a Senate run. I think that's a little bit too far away still. If he tried to run for president in 24, I don't think he would have much success. I think the bigger thing with Glenn Youngkin is going to be how does the state legislature look after the elections coming up this fall. Next up, we have an Emerson College poll. It says 71% of Democratic voters think Biden should be the nominee in 2024. That seems to be better than previous polls that showed barely a majority or even a plurality of Democratic voters thought Biden should be the nominee. And down here, this poll shows Biden's approval rating is at 44, his disapproval is at 50. And here's some demographic breakdown by age. Should Biden be the nominee in 2024? This is surprising to me. The 18 to 34 bracket, 85% say yes, 15% they want somebody else. The oldest bracket goes down to 67 for Biden, 33 for someone else. I would think the younger voters are more progressive, they don't find Biden relatable, and they would want somebody else. I know this is just one poll, but for me, I found that to be intriguing. And down here for the 2024 Republican primary, Donald Trump leads at 55%, Ron DeSantis, he's at 25, and then way down from there with Mike Pence and Nikki Haley. And in the general election matchups from this Emerson poll, Trump leads Biden by 4, 46 to 42, Biden leads DeSantis by 4, 44 to 40, and Biden leads Haley by 3, 40 to 37. And there's enough undecideds there that could swing the result. Now let's move on to New Hampshire, and here's another Emerson poll. And for the Republican primary there, Trump leads at 58%, then DeSantis at 17. Governor Sununu, he's at 7%. So another big lead for Trump. On the Democratic side, Joe Biden is in the lead, but he's only at 29%. Bernie Sanders is in second at 17, then Pete Buttigieg at 14. So that could be fun to see how much of a grudge those voters hold We're putting New Hampshire on the back burner for primaries and putting South Carolina at the front. And in the head-to-head matchup in New Hampshire, Biden leads Trump by 4, 42 to 38. Biden leads DeSantis by 5, 42 to 37. And with Governor Sununu in the race, Sununu leads by 8, 44 to 36. So that's New Hampshire. Let's go on to another one here from North Carolina. And if you're wondering about Governor Roy Cooper, his approval rating is at 47%, with 30% disapprove. And this is more or less in line with the previous polls I've seen of Roy Cooper. That's another state with a Democratic governor and a strong Republican legislator, so that kind of dynamic is probably helping Cooper a little bit. But 65% of this poll think the country is on the wrong track. Only 24% say it's heading in the right direction. Those are terrible numbers. And Joe Biden has a 34% approval, 52% disapproval. Down here is a table. It's not exactly the same results from above. The Cooper is at 46% favorable. Trump is at 41%. North Carolina Supreme Court is at 40% positive, 26% negative. And then it's all down from there. The very bottom, Russia, 9% favorable, 76% unfavorable. There's going to be a big contest for governor in North Carolina in 2024. It's going to be fascinating to watch that one, probably more so on the Republican side, but it'll help the Democrats there if Roy Cooper can maintain a relative popularity. Even though he's only in the high 40s, he probably needs to get that over 50% to feel comfortable. But that is a look at North Carolina. And the last one we'll throw in here real quick is in New York. Kathy Hochul's favorability rating stands at 46 to 43%. However, her job approval is at 56%. So for whatever reason, her favorabilities are much lower than her job approval. And then there's a bunch of other policy issues that are being discussed in New York. It discusses what voters think of some of these proposals. So take a look at that if you'd like. And I will leave it there for now. That's a quick recap of some different polls in some different states. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about any of the polls in any of these states? Is there anything significant for you? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.